my name is Deepti. Welcome to my channel, a place where you can learn at your own pace. So today's topic is grammar, and today we are going to see some simple grammar strategies that you can use in order to get a better band on your IELTS. Grammar is the backbone of any language, and that is why if you don't get it correct, you will not be able to express yourself properly. So in today's video, we will discuss the minor nuances that we sometimes miss out on while we are writing or speaking. And as you already have seen in the previous video where I described what are the band descriptors, what are the aspects that an examiner will keep in mind while evaluating your work, while evaluating your writing, while evaluating your speaking. And grammar is a very important component that the examiner is looking into. So if you don't get your grammar correct, there are chances you will get a low score. So let's see how we can work on grammar. Let's get started.
Sometimes we connect two sentences using a comma, but we need to understand where a comma is needed and where do we need a full stop. Such errors are also known as run-on errors. Look at this statement for example. Peter is a prodigy. He started reading when he was 3. In this statement, look at the term prodigy. Prodigy means a young person who has exceptional qualities or abilities, and that is what being justified in the second part of the statement. But the statement has an error. Peter is a prodigy is a complete statement. He started reading when he was 3 is also a complete statement. You cannot join these two complete statements with a comma. To understand this better, let us take this example. Any sentence can be made up of independent clauses and dependent clauses. Independent clause is a clause which is complete in itself. It does not require anything else to complete its meaning. For example, Varsha was very tired is an independent clause. Dependent clause is not a complete sentence. It needs help of another sentence to complete its meaning. Usually, we take an independent clause here. Because she had to walk a long distance is a dependent clause because it is not complete in its meaning. If you just hear because she had to walk a long distance, you will be confused as to what more the speaker wants to add. And that is why it needs the above independent clause to complete its meaning. So the complete sentence is going to read, Varsha was very tired because she had to walk a long distance. Now going back to our statement, Peter is a prodigy is a complete statement in itself. And he started reading when he was 3 is also a complete statement. They both do not need each other to complete their meaning, and that is why putting a comma would be a wrong choice. So how can we change or how can we improvise? So between these two sentences, we can either put a full stop or a semicolon. That will serve the purpose and make our sentence grammatically correct. There is also a third way in which you can improve this statement. Peter is a prodigy for he started reading when he was 3. So what we have done in this statement is we have added a conjunction for and joined the two sentences, thereby making a correct sentence. Another common error type that we see is pronoun agreement error. So what is a pronoun? Simply speaking, a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun that has come before as a reference point. So an important point we need to remember here is that whatever pronoun we are using for the reference point noun should agree with that noun in terms of number, in terms of gender. Let us look at the statement, everyone received their books. Everyone is an indefinite pronoun which stands for only one person. So we cannot use the possessive pronoun their here because their refers to a plural pronoun which is they. So there is a pronoun agreement error here. Let's see how we can modify this statement and make it correct. We can correct it in two ways. If you want to tell specifically that each person, each individual has received his or her books, then you can go with the first one, stating everyone received his or her books. If you generally want to say that a group of people received their books, you may even want to try the second one. They received their books. Pronouns may look very simple, but they can be deceptive. Something as small as an apostrophe can change the meaning of the sentence altogether or render your sentence incorrect. Look at this sentence for example. It's raining cats and dogs. Not many of us may confidently say that this sentence is correct or incorrect. So, where is the error? Let's try and identify. It's with an apostrophe and it's without an apostrophe are two different words. And so both the words are used in a different way. They have different meanings. It's with an apostrophe is a shorter way of writing it is or it has. Usually in English you will see that many words can get shortened like this. For example, instead of they are, we may end up saying there. Instead of saying I am not, we may end up saying I ain't. Similarly, it is or it has is also shortened to its, but the apostrophe is important here. So in the sentence it's raining cats and dogs, we are trying to say it is raining cats and dogs, so we will put the it's with an apostrophe. On the other hand, it's without the apostrophe talks about the possessive case. The possessive case of a pronoun refers to the pronoun that is being shown to own something or to have possession of something. For example, my book. Here the word my is showing that I own the book. Similarly, when we talk about it's without an apostrophe, it is showing us a possessive case of a particular object which is non-living. So in the statement, what good is a car without its wheels? So here the term it refers to the car, and that is why car's wheels are being referred to in this statement. So we use it's without an apostrophe. One more error, subject-verb agreement, very commonly seen. What is subject-verb agreement after all? Subject is a noun that is performing an action. Verb is that action. Now the subject and the verb should agree with each other in terms of number. A plural subject should carry a plural verb. A singular subject should carry a singular verb. So let us look at this statement. One of my uncle lives in Auckland. Here we are talking about one uncle who lives in Auckland. So usage of the term lives is appropriate because lives is the singular form of the verb. But there is an error in the previous part of the statement. One of my uncle, no, it should be one of my uncles lives in Auckland. Now many of you must be guessing, why uncles? Because I have many uncles. Out of all those uncles, one uncle lives in Auckland. So the moment I say one of my uncles, it gives me the correct meaning of the statement. More examples can be one of the books was torn. One of my friends is still a bachelor. When I take up students for IELTS academics, there is a very common error that I witness in writing task 1, and that is how do we differentiate between where do we use less and where do we use few. Let us look at the given statement. Priyanshu makes less grammatical errors than an average person. Now, to understand if the usage of less is correct here, we first need to understand what is the difference between few and less. So let us reduce the complexity of this task and understand the words in a simple way. Nouns can either be countable or uncountable. So if we are using something that is countable, we will use the word few. Let us look at the first statement. Priyanshu makes fewer grammatical errors than an average person. Grammatical errors can be counted, right? And that is why we are going to use the word fewer here. Let us look at the second statement. The huge sofa set has left less space in the living room. So, when we talk of space, we cannot count space, and that is why we are using the word less here. So, in a nutshell, when you can count things, use few. When you can't count them, use less.
So, wasn't that easy? Just a few strategies you keep in mind, and you see that your language goes to the next level. So, for more such videos, keep watching my channel. Happy learning, keep evolving.
We would also love to hear from you on Instagram and Facebook.